What's going on, guys? Welcome to the newest edition of Overcoming Rejection. It's your boy Rain Biz, back with another episode, and today's very special guest is
Walter Pickney, CEO of Superior LLC.
How you feeling today, sir?
I'm feeling good beside this rain outside.
Man, it's a little drizzly, but it's not that big a deal. Have you ever worked in the rain before, by the way?
Oh, man. You ain't gonna melt.
Yeah.
That's all I say. Get your raincoat.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about your company, Superior. That sounds pretty dope.
Superior, as you can see, we definitely doing a play on words. Taking superior and air, combining the two, which are my own uniqueness. But Superior is a commercial residential HVAC company based here in Dallas-Fort Worth, but we actually started the company in McKinney back in 2016, incorporated, got the contractor's license, and we've been doing our thing ever since.
What made you want to start a HVAC company?
Honestly, I'm just true to the fact hustler. I did my industry, trade industry, just looked into everything, and plumbing, electrical, it's always a downtime. So with HVAC, there is no downtime. Winter, summer, we working. I'm fixing heat in the winter, I'm fixing AC in the summer. So.
Okay. Are you originally from DFW area, or did you grow up somewhere else?
No, I'm born and raised right here. I'm a native. I love it. I love all of the growth that's happening, and I'm glad to be a part of it, especially in the Collin County area. I've been out there for about 12 years, and the area has really grown a lot, and I'm proud to be an established company during the time of the growth.
Yeah, man, it's kind of rare to see HVAC company owners in general, let alone somebody who, I'm assuming you started it all on your own, like without any help from other sources or loans or anything like that. I don't know.
Exactly. This this is all. I think that's what messes me up the most. Is this was all in my brain. It was all in my mind. I don't share it a lot, but I'm actually a widower. Yeah, my wife passed from cancer 4 years ago. So just watching her flourish, it was never on me to be the business owner. I was just letting her do her. So with that being said, my wife made almost $400,000 a year. I just wanted to put $50,000 with it. So I was like, Let me get my AC license.
Let me at least participate. Yeah.
So let me put this in here. And with her passing, it was nothing else I could do besides become a true force in business because of everything that we built and what we stand for. So that's the basis of where, me living this dream really come from.
So was the company before or after her passing?
I got my AC license in 2011. I did commercial building engineering for 10 years. And I've always had, the side hustle of doing AC. But as far as being actually incorporated, a LLC, it was definitely after her passing in 2016. I filed all the paperwork and got all that taken care of.
So how did you take a situation that was, as unfortunate as that, and make something after that wasn't even there, that that you basically magnified your capabilities, you know what I mean? Like, you said it was always in your brain, but how did you get that drive to like want to continue and build, you know what I mean?
That's going to be one of the great life's mysteries right there. Like, it's going to be a real mystery forever because I'm a believer first. And the only thing after her passing was I couldn't sit anywhere and cry and give up and give in. It wasn't in me. It wasn't in me before I met her. It definitely wasn't in me after meeting her and her passing. So it really fueled the fire to definitely want to make her proud and everybody proud. My parents, everybody, you know. Everybody has that story. I could sit here and say, oh, I'm from the hood, I stole. We all did. I'm not taking from anybody, but I'm not going to start there. You know, I'm going to start with when the wheels start turning to want to better myself. Because we all, you know, had a life. You know, I hustled, I ran the streets, I did all of that. So my life is a complete 360. Not at 180.
Yeah.
360.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said that you know, didn't maybe come from the best upbringing. Could you go into maybe a specific experience that you faced during your childhood or adolescence that molded you into the person that you are today?
You know, I'm going to go with the first one that jumped out. When I was around 13, me and my brother, we swam the whole summer. And, you know, when you swim, you get hungry.
Hold on, where did y'all swim, in the pool or lake or?
Yeah, the pool.
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
apartment
okay.
complex.
I was like, okay,
you know,
I was like, I don't know how country y'all are.
Yeah, no, brother. I grew up here in the
Yeah.
DFW. A lot of concrete, a lot of local channels. But no, we swim in the apartment complex all summer, just, you know, swimming. You get hungry when you swim. And at the time before that, we were staying in my grandmother's back room, and my mother could only afford enough money to just go get us an apartment. Not get food, just get an apartment. Like, we in an apartment now. 2 weeks from now, I can get some groceries to get in this apartment. So the only thing my grandmother could do was give us a big box of canned goods. And I remember going through that 2 weeks, eating those canned goods with my brother, making the best of it. And was so happy when my mother was able to just buy a package of bologna. But I said to myself, if I could make it through that 2 weeks, I can do anything. And I never forgot that. That's one of the first instances where I knew, you know, I'm a survivor.
Yeah. And how old were you during that period?
That was like my 7th grade, so it had to be like 13, 12. Yeah. That's something.
That's awesome, man. I like how, and the reason why I ask you guys about like any hardships that you endured earlier on is because I found that it does, you know, kind of have a influence on like you when you're a grown up, when you're an adult. So, tell us a little bit about like maybe one of your worst or most challenging days at the job.
For me, the most challenging is just getting general business, dealing with the customers and treating them with the respect that they deserve. Just learning that art, you know, because, you know, where we come from, if somebody give you pushback, you give them defense. And now what I've learned is not to just judge people by their characteristics or their behavior. You know, it could be a reason why they're feeling or doing or moving the way that they are. So I give them that benefit of the doubt now. But that was just a challenge for me, is really getting with those relationships, building that rapport, and just speaking to people right, not
So,
talking to them wrong.
I mean, how do you, like, you just come out of nowhere and just like, hey, you need your HVAC fixed? Like, you know what I mean? I'm curious because it's, I mean, we have similar, we do both do business to business. So,
you know, it's different with the residential and the commercial. Commercial is more business to business. Residential is more person to person to me, you know, because I'm dealing with you in your home. And, you know, bro, that's a good question. That's a good question. I'm going to have to think about that one, bro.
yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, because obviously you do it. I mean, you're doing it. So,
I can't say nothing but just grind.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
People don't want to hear that, man. They're like, hold on, what's the
I'm
secret, man? Give me an
gotta
app that I can.
grind, man. You gotta
Yeah.
grind, man. Like, prime example, I wanted preventative maintenance contracts. I woke up last Monday and Tuesday, had no destination in particular, got dressed, got my company logo shirt on, I hit the door. I walk away. By Thursday, I had a preventative maintenance contract with the city of Frisco. But because I walked in and was determined to do it, with this being the first week of the year, like, let's start this year off right, you know? So I think if anybody had that determination or that drive, you'll get it.
Okay. I would imagine that someone would ask you to elaborate a little bit more about like how to be determined, how to be driven. Maybe if you can give some advice on how you do it, they can apply that in their lives.
Bottom line, I pray.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I consider going and doing that, to me, this is my opinion, period, as a handout. And that's how I looked at it. I didn't want to go to these people and say, hey, I do AC, can I give my spiel to you?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to do that. So I literally had to say, Lord, I'm not comfortable with this. Can you help me with this? Because I don't feel right doing it. And when I said that and when I prayed about it, I started to feel differently about it. I started to strategically figure out how I can approach the situation then. So for me personally, if you having difficulty with it and you having an issue with it, pray about it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and be sincere in your prayer and be sincere in your actions. Because you can pray about it and still not go out and do it. It's still not try. I tried. I'm going to continue to try. Because that contract didn't do nothing but fuel more fire.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I see, I got to get out here more often.
Yeah. It's invigorating. Like,
You know?
I get it.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. I mean, because, you don't come across this somebody who's done 12 years in college, you know, to establish relationships with these business owners. And, you know, I see you doing your thing in the Collin County Black Chamber of Commerce. And I'm just like, man, this guy looks experienced, you know. But you're saying it's simply determination and having a foundation of, you know, belief, whatever it is. That's dope.
Period. I mean, I've always prayed. I've always believed. I've never been a super religious guy. I've had some of the worstest homies jump in the car and tell me some of the craziest things, you know. But all I could tell them was pray. Because, you know, people don't realize that he sees all. We're hiding nothing. Regardless of what we're doing, we just got to be real with ourselves. And I think the sooner people come to that realization, the better. I mean, period, bro. Like, you got to be a realist with yourself first. If you're not a realist with yourself, the world is going to be imaginative to you. It's not going to be realistic.
How do you know when you are and when you are not being real with yourself? What is being real with yourself? Why is it important?
It's so important for you to be real with yourself because then there's no self-doubt. You don't doubt yourself in any aspect or area of your life. You know, you able to make those decisions solid and sound and know that you are behind it 100%, you know, without always asking the opinion of somebody or, hey, let me bounce this off of you. If anybody is like that, I would ask them to take one time to make a decision solely on their own mind, on their own merit and mind. I did that because I wanted to do that. And I think if more people do that, then we have a whole lot more entrepreneurs.
Mm. You think everybody can be? I mean, because that's kind of like a buzzword right now, entrepreneur. Like, if you could if you could define entrepreneurship in one word for you, what would you say it would be?
Freedom. Period. The scheduling is never gonna be daisies and roses,
Mm-hmm.
but as long as you determine and you believe and you give it what you can, you'll get those results back. And I know it's scary. I know it's scary. You know,
They're like, I don't want to leave my $20 an hour. I want to keep my Lexus.
Like, all my people right now, and I'm gonna say I have one cousin that I have truly influenced because he's ready to do his entrepreneur thing. But all my friends, they still, work. Or I have friends that's entrepreneurs, but a lot of my friends that still work, they're afraid to step out. And I suggest you do it. If you want to sell candles, sell them. Because this is how I look at it, right? If I went on the corner every day and I yell, burritos for sale, first couple of months, people walk by look crazy when nobody acknowledge me. But come that third, fourth month, you might get one or two people walking up to buying burritos. It's all about sticking with it. Burritos, burritos, burritos. Until everybody in town saying, I thought that guy was selling burritos over there. Like, and you still there. So that's my deal. Like, stay down till you come up.
Mm. Who taught you these things, man? You sound like you're pretty well educated on the mindset of doing your thing.
Man, it's such a conglomerate over this way. I was so groomed for this, from hard-working tradesmen to pimps, hustlers, educated professors. Like, I don't know if they saw my light, but I've had so many people want to share and just drop jewels on me, just on general purpose. They saw something in me, they told me this, that, and the other. And it's always been like that with me since a kid.
Mm.
Like, yeah.
Did you have any influencers growing up?
Of course, your mother.
Yeah.
Everybody's mother is, that person that, for me, for sure, that showed me to get up and chase it. If you want it, go get it. Nobody's going to bring it and sit it in your lap, Of course, my father was a great man as well. But I had a village. A lot of people don't know what that is. They didn't know about Mr. Johnson and Mr. Clark and Miss Patricia and everybody that cared about me, that, from school teachers, that ever gave me a positive word. Like, all of that plays a part. You know what I'm saying? But I honestly had that village. Mm. I had that block, that street with people that were loving, I experienced that.
So with such a, strong connecting force of people that were, supporting you, how did you prevent yourself from relying on them? Don't you think some people that have a good family structure kind of tend to just like, oh, well, I'm good because my family's good?
Now, good family structure, but humble. Like, we wasn't the wealthiest. We didn't have wealth whatsoever. Like, I'm breaking so many chains and setting so many standards. Like, I want to say one of the first full-fledged CEO entrepreneurs out of my family. And I went to college, but I didn't finish, but
I think that number is more than the people who actually go to college and finish. Yeah. Especially in these times, because you can educate yourself on YouTube or follow somebody that's already did it,
Mm-hmm.
Hit.
And get that mentorship.
Yeah.
And you rocking from there. any social media, you use that as well. But no, man, I didn't come from money whatsoever. You know, we still trying to make it right now. You know, we just blessed. But no, I couldn't ask. Like my license in particular. Get my HVAC license. I went through the Texas Workforce Commission. They used to have a program called the WIA. As long as you finish whatever program you got into, you didn't owe them any money. This was grant money. So I'm sitting in the Workforce Commission on the computer doing my resume, and I'm looking around and I'm like, where is the money at? Like, I know it's money in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the money? So I started inquiring about the programs because it was no way I was going to continue to work in warehouses. I needed a leg up. So I got into the program, you know, went through all of the testing, everything like that. And I got to the day, I'm literally sitting in the lobby with a guy. They done called us to get our money for school. He was like, hey, I'm going to truck driving school. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to AC school. I ain't think about that, man. I didn't know you could do it. Yeah, you can. And the course is only 2 weeks.
Dang.
Yeah. So, going back there, the counselor tell me there's no more money for the rest of the school year. And I looked at him. I said, you know I'm about to climb this ladder. And he looked thrown off like, what do you mean? I didn't say anything else. Took all my paperwork, went home upset, got on the computer. I looked up everything in Austin. Every commission, everything to do with the Texas Workforce Commission. So I wasn't finna take no for an answer. Went through the whole process, got a lot of no's, a lot of yeses. Got in touch with the lady over every North Texas office. Told her my spiel, had a conference call, had all my paperwork. They said, well, Walter, the person who told you there was no more money is going to call you tomorrow and tell you to come get your money. I said, really?
Dang,
really?
son. That's a turn of events.
Same guy sit across from me and said, I don't know who you got in touch with, but here's your money for school. Now, I'm in school, and a guy's coming to Irving. He's driven from Port Arthur. He got his family in a hotel, and he's doing it with unemployment funds to get this certification that I'm getting. And they told him was no more money for the rest of the school year. I'm sitting out there, we smoking. That's when I smoke cigarettes, you know. Bro, you took that? He was like, what you mean? I said, they told me the same thing. I didn't take nothing, no. And here you are with your whole family up in this circumstance trying to make it happen. But if he only fought, you see, it's always going to be a fight. And from that instance right there, I was no longer afraid of the state, government, anything that I wanted to apply for and go for, I was going to do it because I know that person that tells you a no is not your only person you can deal with now, you know. So that's just an example, man, of, you know, the fight. You know, you get to that first brick wall. If you fold and give up, you won't get to the next taller one, the bigger one, because the reward on the other side of that one is going to be even more better. So I'm just saying, don't give up.
Man, that's a powerful testimony, man. That gave me some drive.
That's what we do.
I'm sure I'm not the only one that got built up from that. But that's like the definition of overcoming from rejection. Like, it seemed like you been doing this.
Man, not a game with me, bro. Like, yeah. I mean, look, I'm a big, black, bearded black man. I'm the guy that they're going to turn away, that they're going to put in a big, to hope that I don't go read it, that hope that I don't seek that information. But I'm just going to be that guy that's going to do everything that I need to do. Every piece of paper you say, oh, you need that? Okay. You need that notarized? Okay. Because I want to see how many no's you got for me till you give me that yes. It's got to be an end of them. You can't give me 1,000,000 of them when I'm giving you everything you're asking for, because that's adding up as well. all that notarization, all that paperwork, that adds up as well. So bring it on.
That's lit, bro. And like I said, coming from somebody who does sales for their livelihood, I mean, that's something that should be in a book.
Now, one thing I'm trying to figure out is when I do get that no, the continuation afterwards. You know, like I really want to be able to tell people why they should rock with me. You know, like in some instances you get that opportunity because you feel that rapport with the person, but a lot of times you don't. But you need to know that initial keep this going. Like, don't just shut me out. You know,
Yeah.
hear what I'm saying. So, yeah.
Well, one thing that I've noticed has helped me, just as a kind of quick testimony, is persistence. Like, you know, I've had people that have told me no 12 times, and they still admit that they respect the fact that my follow-up game is strong. And for you, for example, I mean, we tried to do the interview here. You would have been on the first season. Now we're in the second season. And it was going to be in this location, but not in this situation, like not in this, you know, with all this stuff going on here. And that patience led to an even better venue,
Yes.
you know? So I think if I could give some advice, that would be what I would say. Yeah.
Well, I think with that, that gave us more of a better rapport. You and I ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Because that kept us in touch. You know, like it kept us like, hey, I'm thinking this day, you think, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so, but I'm glad to have met you because what I am extremely keen on is the younger generation. And you are behind me. So any way that I could help you or any way I could look out for you, it's done,
Yeah.
you know? 'Cause,
No, I appreciate that, man. I mean, and you're not really only just helping me. This podcast is for everyone who listens. You know, I mean, you can show this to anyone who has questions on the origin of your business or wants to know a little bit more about you. Oh, just say, yeah, go check out my podcast.
Yeah.
So that's beneficial to everybody, you know. But I really appreciate it, man. I mean, I think part of the help, like I said, is doing things like this, communicating with people on what you did to get where you're at. Speaking of that, I mean, did you have any, I guess, like, final words of wisdom or advice that you would give to, like, for example, somebody who wants to start an HVAC company or things of the like? What would you say to them?
Most definitely keep going. That's first and foremost, because nothing that you really truly want in life is going to just come easy. It's always going to be a fight with that. I don't know why, but it seems like those things are the things you have to fight the most for. So that first and foremost. But get into the industry. Get your license. Definitely reach out to Superior, dfw.com. You know, reach out to me. I'm always hiring. But for sure, just don't let anybody tell you you can't. And the ones that tell you can't, definitely don't listen to them, those people. Like,
What if it's family, friends?
it's always family.
Yeah.
Those are the first ones that told me everything I was going to be up against. But the stranger was the one that saw my idea and believed more than me. I've had people that believed in me more than me that were not family to me. So I don't hold that against my family, but that's something that people should expect from family and close friends, best friends. If they're afraid in their lives or they're in their comfort zone, they want you to stay in yours. There's nothing wrong with that. That's human nature. But if you truly trying to elevate, keep things to yourself, and share them with people that are doing things that you're trying to do. Get that mentor. You know, get with that person that's already doing it. You know, if you get with people, they like to talk about themselves. You know, so, you get with a guy who's in the industry that you want to be in, and you're comfortable with him. Ask him about himself. and he'll tell you everything you need to know. You know, but definitely get a mentor. Get somebody that around you that's just has an idea of what you're trying to do or go after. Yeah.
I can dig that. It looks like you were mentioning a little bit on where to find you on social media, the internet. Could you run that over again?
Man. I'm everywhere, man. We got the website, superiordfw.com, Superior LLC on Instagram, at Superior One, Facebook. Man, we everywhere. Twitter,
Just Google.
You put it like you spell my company name the way it's supposed to be spelled. The only other company will pop up is in Australia. No other company in the United States domestic has the name like I'm spelling. Like I'm unique. Yes,
Okay.
indeed. So
I can dig that. What you think about TikTok, man?
You know, man, I'll be 40 this year. So, like I said,
You got Will Smith on TikTok, man. I'm gonna keep pushing TikTok on y'all, bro. I ain't gonna let y'all go to the grave without having a TikTok account.
that's why I like you, because I know you're gonna expose me to all of that good stuff. Just like you put the code in for me the other night at the meeting. So yeah, but yeah.
Hop on that.
I got you, bro.
So we can look you up on TikTok. You be the only HVAC person on there. I can probably guarantee you that.
Wow.
But yeah, guys, I really appreciate y'all tuning in. Walter, thank you so much for the counsel and the wisdom that you've so gracefully bestowed upon us. Looking forward to seeing your growth in the future, man. With that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. Hey, y'all continue to stay tuned and overcome them rejections.